What's going on, guys? It's Sensei Adam, and today I'm going to go over a topic that I've been meaning to go over for a long time now, and that is all the features, like everything I think needs to be added into the game before it finally goes global. So everybody that's asking, Android, where's Android? Where's Android? I see all of you guys just posting it in supercells. Every time supercell posts something, you guys just ask for Android. Well, today I'm going to show you guys all the things that I think need to be added to Brawl Stars before it can actually go global. And on this list, I'm going to make 3 different tiers. Basically high priority, medium priority, and low priority. Basically all the ones at high priority I think need to be addressed as soon as possible before it's gone global. And the ones at medium and low priority can kind of help the game like smooth it out, become higher quality, but they're not necessarily like required to. And if you guys like these ideas, make sure to smash that like button, and hopefully Supercell sees that all of you guys like all of these ideas and they implement some of them into the game. I really hope they do and make the game a lot better for all of us. But let's just get started. Now this first thing, it's something that's been suggested for a long time now. You've seen it on Reddit every single time. Like probably every week there's somebody that says this. And that is, they have to have a replays for the games. Say you had like such a clutch moment and you want to share it with everybody. Well, you can't. Now it's just lost to time because there's no way to record it. Unlike Clash Royale though, where they usually just put like where a card is placed and then let the AI do the work, here you have to measure exactly where everybody's going at every single time. So how are you going to do that? Well, on Reddit I've seen people say that like on Overwatch they have recording of games and their file sizes are pretty small. But hopefully they can figure it out how to do it, because I just think it's an absolute requirement that you have to go ahead and be able to share with your friends any good gameplay that you had. The second thing that's also a very high priority, and I think it should be added probably in the next update as well, is spectator mode. And this, it's been available in Clash Royale since almost the beginning of the game. But a lot of people have been saying, oh, it could be used for like cheating or something. A way to work around that is make it so like when you spectate somebody, there's a 20-second delay. So, or like a 15-second delay. Like they could try and figure out the numbers, but just make any delay to make it so spectating is a viable option in the game. But where I think this is absolutely required is friendly battles. Especially if they want this game to go to esports or something, you have to have like people on the side that are able to spectate the game. So imagine like you're doing a friendly battle 3v3 and you can have like 3 other people just spectating and recording the entire thing, and they can move around the screen and go anywhere on the map. That would be pretty cool, right? Also, on another note, especially on friendly showdown, you know how it's really annoying that when you die you have to just wait on that screen on friendly showdowns and wait for the match to end. So I really think they should add a feature, so if you die, you can still stay and move around on the map like on spectator mode and watch to see the game unfold, instead of just going ahead and waiting on that main menu for like 2 minutes. Alright, on to the next thing, and I think this could really make or break Brawl Stars in the long run. They really need to address the end game progression. Right now, end game, like say you have every brawler at 500, it just sucks, man. Like if you do that, there's almost no motive, no incentive to push above 500. You've probably gone on Reddit and seen a lot of top players just go ahead and push like to 11,000, and then like they post, oh, this is what I get for that, just 500 coins. Like there's just no incentive to go above 500. And since every season is just 2 weeks, it just feels like the people at the top are the ones that probably play like 6 hours a day. It doesn't involve almost any skill at all. Alright, it does involve skill, but the ones that play a lot more for say like 6 hours a day against somebody that plays for 2 hours a day but are a lot more skilled, like they don't have a chance to go up on the leaderboards. So the one issue I see is that the current trophy system has almost no chance of keeping people long term. So if you have everybody maxed out, once you go like 3 cycles or 4 cycles of season, and that's just 8 weeks, just 2 months, you're probably gonna get bored of the game. You're probably gonna like have played 6 hours every single day just to get that top player for like 2 days, then it's gonna go back down again. And I just feel that's no fun at all to keep pushing like that. And here are my 2 suggestions on how they should improve the current trophy system, because it really needs some improving. Alright, number 1 is to make seasons a lot longer. And by that I mean at least 2 months. The issue I see with the current system, it's way too short. 2 weeks, like you don't feel like you've been top player for any time. You've been pushing this long, and then for just 2 weeks you already go down. And like one of the other issues I see, like say they have 40 brawlers, how are you gonna push all of those brawlers up in just 2 weeks? Like that just doesn't seem plausible. So I think they should be at least 2 months per season. And I know that sounds like a lot, because like Clash Royale season is like 1 month. But in this game, it feels like there's ladders for every single character. Not just one main ladder like Clash Royale, like there's just one main trophy ladder. Here you have like a ladder for Nita, a ladder for Colt, a ladder for Rico. You have to push everybody up on 19 separate ladders. So imagine trying to push up, like when they add, like in 2 years when there's 40 brawlers, trying to push up all those 40 brawlers in just 2 weeks. That's just crazy, man. Like they should at least have the seasons be longer. That way, like when the season resets, they actually feel like not all their hard work has just gone to waste, but now it's like a fresh start and they can do it all over again. My second suggestion is one that's kind of like out there, but I don't think they'd ever implement this. But this is how to keep people for a lot longer time playing the game. And that's what you want, right, Supercell? Alright, what you want to do is probably on the side, keep the main ladder, but on the side, make like a ranked mode, just like those games that keep people for a long time, like League of Legends, Dota 2, and Rocket League. If you guys don't know, League of Legends is one of the most popular games in the world, if not the most popular, and it's 8 years old. That's crazy. Even more crazy is if you check the stats, every single month they have 100 million active users. 100 million, I'm not kidding. But what keeps them there for such a long time? Well, it's their competitive ranking system. Basically, they have a ranking system like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and challenger. Or I don't know, I forgot the last one, but you can climb up those 6, and each one has a subdivision. So basically like bronze 5, bronze 4, like bronze 1 all the way to 5. But in order to advance, you actually have to have skill. Like even if you're like in the worst division, which I think is bronze 5, you don't get any special treatment. Like it's a 1-to-1 thing, even if you win or lose. So if you win, you get like 30 points. If you lose 30 points. And that's what keeps people like playing, because the bad people are always going to stay at the bottom, and in order to go up, they have to improve their game, like work on it, get good teammates, and keep it going. So it's just like a competitive scene, especially at like the higher levels, like the diamond and platinum. Like it's just a lot more competitive, and it just feels like it's very hard work, and you earned like your place. And the thing about those, you know how long one season is? Just one. It's 1 year. That's right, every season lasts for 1 year. So if you're gold 3, you keep your rank until the end of the season. I think like the reset every year is like November or something. So like you basically feel like you're working towards something. Your rank is like kind of permanent, but not really. But you feel like a year just feels like a long time. So you're just working on it, trying to get up there on the ladder and getting better at the game. That's what I feel Brawl Stars needs. Like, in my opinion, they should just move the news section like into the home page like Clash Royale did, and in like the last slot, make a ranked mode just like League of Legends or Dota 2 or Rocket League. It just keeps players for a long time trying to develop their skills. Alright, moving on from that, but still pretty much high priority, is public game rooms. And I don't know why they haven't added those yet. Like, I feel like those would be a really great addition to the game. So let's go ahead and say that you're in a band and there's only 4 people online right now, and all of them are playing Showdown. But you want to really go in a room and coordinate with people instead of just going with randoms, because everybody knows randoms suck. So why not create public game rooms so you can go ahead and like request to create a public game room. Like you can ask for which brawler you're looking for, how many trophies you want, basically all of that. And then and I think it will be a really good addition. It will just help out like the people that aren't in really good bands, like top bands. And lastly, on my high priority list, this one's probably one that Supercell already knows about, and that is just voice acting for every brawler. Like I said in a bunch of my videos before, I don't think the game's gonna go global until they finish all of the voice acting for all of the remaining brawlers. Currently they have it for 10 out of the 19 brawlers. So they're almost they're more than halfway there. They just need 9 of them. And that's pretty simple, but I don't know how long it's gonna take them to do the voice acting. But I think if they just go ahead and recruit, they can do that really fast. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the medium priority things. And I think these are some really good additions that will really help out the game, but they're not absolutely required for global release. I just really think it will make the game a lot more polished and good looking. Number 1, and I think this is really cool, I really want them to add this, and that is the ability to create your own custom maps, like basically a map editor. Now these maps, you can play them in friendly battles. So if you go ahead and just create a friendly room, you can test them out with your friends, but they wouldn't go over into the main map rotations. And my idea for that would be like, what if Supercell every month they pick like the top 2 most voted maps, or like say there's a top 10 and people could vote on those on which 2 for each game mode they would like to see in the game. So every month they'd have 2 uniquely created maps from users just be in the rotation. And the next month it would go away and 2 more maps would go in their place. That way, like every month we'd have some unique maps and it wouldn't get boring. Like we'd always have new maps to try out some different strategies. It would just sound really cool. I really hope they add this. But I don't know how hard it would be to code that. I know it's probably tough, but I really think this would be an addition to keep people playing for a long time. Number 2, and this is one that I came up with myself, and that is how to make stats a lot easier to understand at max level. Like, I really didn't like the stat change, like when they increased stuff from like 800 to 3200, because the old system for me it was a lot easier to understand. But I know why they did it. It's a lot easier to balance and it's a lot more helpful for them. But the way that they did it, they increased like at max, you now get a 35% boost instead of a 25% boost. But in this game, I noticed that a 25% boost at max would just make stats a lot more simple and easy to understand. I put here a comparison from what max stats look now to what max stats could look like right here if they were at 25% instead of 35. See the difference? It just looks so much more cleaner. Like, let's say for Colt, now his HP is 3,720, I believe. But in the new system, it will be 3,500. Let's say Nita, I believe it's 5,120. In the new system, it will be 4,750. Just a lot more easier to understand, and you'd be able to calculate it in battle a lot more. So let's say you're going against a Poco with a Nita. Poco, with the new system, he'd do 800 damage. So if you're a Nita with like 2,402 HP, you know that you can survive 3 hits from that Poco and still live. So you can use that calculation to go and like be aggro or back up. But now, like Poco does 864 damage. It's really hard to calculate that mid-battle, like towards your health. Like, are you gonna survive 3 hits? Are you gonna survive 4 hits? Like this system here will just be a lot easier for people to understand. Alright, next up we have the ability to go ahead and create game rooms with the randoms you just played with. So let's say you just went into a match with randoms just to get coins, but then everybody played so good, you really like that team comp. Say right here, with the example on the left, there's a button at the bottom where you can click proceed as team, and everybody that clicked that on your team, you'd be put into a room. So I really like that idea. It's very simple, yet like it will help out a lot of people. If you found a good team, you could stick to that team instead of just having to go into the Kui again, and then next up going against with horrible randoms and then hating randoms like a lot of people do right now. Alright, so fourth and last thing on the medium priority list is that there needs to be some kind of a color change, especially when you open some brawl boxes. It just feels way too bland right now. Everything, like once you have probably like 12 out of like 19 brawlers, you're just gonna get tokens 95% of the time. And it's blue, more blue, more blue. So what I think is they should do what they did before. So common tokens are blue, like they match what their actual rarity is. So epics would be pink, mythics would be red, a legendary would be yellow. So if you get legendary tokens, it's with a yellow background and there's like that little radiating thing, rather than the just same old thing that just looks boring. Like it just doesn't make you opening a box and getting, say, 120 tokens. Like it doesn't feel any different than if you got 15 tokens. Just change the color, it's pretty simple. So now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the low priority list. And these aren't things that are like absolutely required for the game, but they will really polish it up, like make it really look good. So number one, and this really bugs me, and that is that you can't click on the leaderboards when you're in a room. It's really annoying. Say I have like a 510 Jessie, I just push her up 15 trophies, and now I want to see where she's at on the leaderboards. Well, I actually have to leave the room and then go on the leaderboards to click it. It's just an annoying thing. Like I really think they should just make it so on each brawler, like below it where they have skins and to select, like to upgrade, they should add a third tab for the leaderboards. They should do this the same thing for your total trophies, where you can click on like the top where your total trophies are at and click leaderboards. And the same thing for bands. Like if you click on your band or like search bands, you can see leaderboards. Like I just think I don't have to go ahead and leave a room to actually see the leaderboards. It's just like before when they added the thing to where you had to leave the room to actually open a box. Like it's just that important. This next suggestion here probably applies to like the older audience but not the younger one, and that is the yay and the yaw sounds at the end of every battle. Like I don't know if other people have this issue, but whenever I'm at like the end of a battle and I'm in public, I always find myself turning down the volume on my phone because I don't want people to hear like the yay and aw sound, because it kind of just sounds way too childish. Like you see in like a Disney Junior show where they go like yay. Like I just think they should add like a age neutral sound, just like Clash Royale. Like when you win, it goes like dun 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 dun, dun, something like that. Maybe like a Western sound, like that sounds positive or negative. This next suggestion here, I don't know why they haven't added yet, but that is game ending stats. So in Bounty, you can see your kill and death ratio. In Smash and Grab, you can see how many gems you got. On Heist, you can see how much damage you did to the safe. So on Brawl Ball, you can see who scored which goals. And you can also see kills. Like it would just be a good way, a good indicator to see how, like, what you did to help out the team in game. This next one here is a quality of life change, and that is that you can click to view the map, like the actual map layout, before you go into the game. And that would also really help out if they decided to add like a map builder. So instead of actually having to go into each map to see what they look like, you can just click and see what the layout is. So like let's say Crystal Cavern, you can go ahead and click view map and see the layout. Or what they could do is once everybody clicks ready, the background, instead of just being that rotating skull, it could be the background of the map. It would just look a lot more cleaner and a lot smoother. This next thing is one thing that kind of bothers me, and that is that they made the chat a lot smaller than before. After the December update, they made it a lot smaller. So as you guys see here on the left, I have some stuff circled that they could take out and make it a lot more, like have a lot more room in your band chat. Like I feel like there's just not enough space. After like 4 or 5 words of chat, it just goes up. It makes it a lot harder to keep up with the conversation in your band. So what I think they should do is just remove that friends tab there. I get what they were going for, but go up there for the search tab and like make a tab over there where you can put your friends and like search for bands. And they can also put a third tab, like I said before, to search like for top bands or top players, just over there all in one. And the second thing is that they put a little space right here, as I have it circled, between like the little chat button and what things actually say. I don't get why they did that, because in Clash Royale they don't have that. Like it goes right in that space. So that will be another way that they can add more space in the chat. Next up, and I think this is really important for Supercell for monetary reasons, and that is adding skins for every single brawler. And the reason for that is in a lot of these types of game, that's their revenue. That's like a huge percentage of their revenue. People buying skins for their brawlers. And this is a suggestion that I don't think a lot of you are probably gonna like, but I really think they should do that, is make skins more expensive. I know, right? Suggesting things to be more expensive, but the reason for that is I'd rather them get more money for skins, but then make other stuff cheaper, rather than having like skins. I think right now they cost like less than $1. Like I think the Shelly skin is 20 gems, and like 99 cents gets you 30 gems. So I'd rather have like a gem cost $5 or so, rather than like something else costing like a lot more just because of that. And if they get more revenue from skins, maybe they can make the drop rates like for legendaries a lot larger. That's just my opinion. This next one here is one that I personally came up with, and that is a colored online system. Instead of having the current last online, which in my opinion looks very cluttered, like there's just way too many words there like to keep up. There's your name, member, last online, which is way too huge, the number, and trophies. So I think they should just remove the last online and go with this colored system. So right here, where I put here on the left, green means you're online, and then the blue means that you were online, last online, 3 days or less. So, and then between 3 or 7 days, you have the yellow. And then between 1 week and 1 month, you have the orange. And in 1+ month, you have the red. And I think that would just make the screen a lot smoother and not be as cluttered as it is right now. Oh, and another thing I just noticed is that instead of making it like that, maybe you could just have the numbers around, like you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Instead of having the whole bar colored, they could just leave the blue, but then do the colored system on that number. Now these next 3 things I'm just gonna list them really quick, because they're just some quality of life changes, and they all involve with how you look at your brawlers. Number 1 is that you can order the position of your brawlers. So let's say Mortis, Crow, and Spike are all your favorite brawlers. Well, every time you have to go in a match, you have to scroll down all the way down to the bottom to click it. And imagine if there's like 40 brawlers, you always have to scroll down every time you want to go for them. So instead of doing that, you can put them in order. So you can move up Mortis to the top, put Spike second, and put Crow third. And in that way, whenever you look at your main menu, that's what it's going to show up. And then once you go into a battle, it's also going to show up in your favorite order. That way people can personalize their main accounts. Second thing, and I saw this really cool post on Reddit, is that if you own a skin, you can go ahead and switch like the icon to your skin. So let's say you have the regular Colt here, and then you have a Rockstar Colt. You can go ahead, I have the picture here on the left, and switch it to the icon of Rockstar Colt. It would just look a lot cooler, and your icon, you could have it personalized to however you want it. And third thing, and I don't know if a lot of people have noticed this, but they need to make it so more brawlers show up when you go and check people's profile. Currently, it just feels like you can't take a screenshot of more than 2 brawler trophies. Even if you can't take 4, but you're gonna take out like how much power they have. So like I really think they should make like that menu in people's profile smaller, so at least 6 brawlers show up that you can take a screenshot of. Like I just feel that would be a really cool quality of life change. And last but not least, fix joystick. I have no idea why they removed this. It was one of my favorite features that they added back in the September update, but they just removed it completely on the December update. And I have no idea why. Like I've seen a lot of the times, I always put my joystick in the wrong spot now. Where before, that issue was almost non-existent. Even though the joystick was just like there, it wasn't actually really stationary, but it was just there for the visual. But just having that visual there, it made me like, whenever it made it just be like a visual cue. So if my finger was dragging too much off, whenever I stop, I always put it back. But now I find myself having like my finger go away from the screen, and in a certain battle, it's all the way away from the screen and I can't click. It's just really annoying. They should probably just leave it in an option in the main menu. So guys, those are all my ideas on all the features that Brawl Stars needs in order to go global. Some of them are huge and I really think they need it. Some others are quality of life changes, and some others are crucial to the game succeeding in the long term. But did I miss any ideas? If you have any ideas of your own, just leave them down in the comments. Like, what should Supercell add? I always read every single one of the comments, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.